Joining us now is our friend, General Paul E. Vallely, retired U.S. Army and chairman of Stand Up America. Hello, General. How are you, sir?
Hello, Steve. Fine, thank you.
I know you've been traveling, and I appreciate you taking the time to be with us. It probably means you didn't get to see or hear a lot of what went on. But basically, these three brave men, as you just heard Mr. Nordstrom choke up, these three brave men got emotional at times, answered all the questions, said what we expected them to say, and even went so far in the case of Greg Hicks to talk about how he was told by the State Department not to cooperate with Congressman Chaffetz, who was on his way over to Libya to meet with him and others involved to get the facts on the ground. He was told not to talk to him, not to tell him anything. So where do you think all this is going to lead us, General? Do you think there's going to be justice?
Well, I hope there's justice, and I hope the truth comes out, Steve, because we have known, for months now, and having done several shows with you, that the Obama administration uses heavy-handed Chicago-style tactics to put the lid on people, and they threaten them. They threaten them with their jobs, and that's exactly what's been happening. And so this is why this hearing has got to even be stronger and getting out the facts. And these three people have been very brave to put themselves out there. But believe me, Steve, there's more in the background that haven't even been brought forth yet who know what's going on.
No, that's absolutely true. I want you to hear, if we could line up cut 61, Will. This is the conclusion of the little conversation between Congressman Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio, and Mr. Hicks, talking about how he was told not to talk to Chaffetz. Chaffetz comes with a State Department representative who's not allowed into some of the meetings because his security clearance isn't high enough, and the State Department doesn't like that. And then Mr. Hicks gets a call from Cheryl Mills, and here's how that goes. 61.
You had a subsequent conversation after this classified briefing that the lawyer was not allowed to be in, with you and Mr. Chaffetz and others on that delegation. You had another conversation on the phone with Cheryl Mills. Tell me, who is Cheryl Mills?
She was counselor for the Department of State and Chief of Staff to Secretary Clinton.
That's a pretty important position?
Yes, sir.
When she calls, you take the phone call?
Immediately.
Yeah, she's the fixer for the Secretary of State. She is as close as you can get to Secretary Clinton. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And tell me about that phone call you had with Cheryl Mills.
A phone call from that senior person is, generally speaking, not considered to be good news.
And what did she have to say to you?
She demanded a report on the visit.
Was she upset by the fact that this lawyer was not, this
was upset.
Babysitter, this spy, whatever you want to call him, was not allowed to be in that? First time it's ever happened. All the congressional delegations you've ever entertained was not allowed to be in that classified briefing. Was she upset about that fact?
She was very upset.
So this goes right to the person next to Secretary Clinton. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Hillary Clinton's chief of staff, the attorney, the chief attorney for the State Department, knows that her, as the congressman put it, spy, was not allowed into a meeting with the Congressman Chaffetz and Mr. Hicks and others after Mr. Hicks had been told, don't talk to anybody. The spy didn't have high enough, so-called spy, didn't have high enough security clearance. So when he reported back, hey, I'm not allowed in a meeting, she immediately calls Mr. Hicks to complain about it and to find out what was said in that meeting, because her little mole wasn't in there. And this is number 2 to Hillary in that State Department. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells, again, the lies, Hillary Clinton lying in her testimony. So, as we reported earlier, that, the lid went down on everybody, went down on the military not to execute a rescue mission. And so we know this is an entire conspiracy that goes all the way to the White House, down through State Department, into CIA, into DOD, Department of Defense. They're all in collusion together in order to cover this up, what really happened. And, Steve, from the standpoint of the rescue, not even attempting a rescue, when we did have forces in the area. And so this, to me, we're bordering on complete dysfunctional organizations that support our people overseas, whether the Defense Department or State Department.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We had Senator Roger Wicker on earlier, and Republican from Missouri, and he said a lot is going to depend on the media, General. I asked him, are there going to be repercussions? I said, John Bolton told me on my show, and it made news, that he thinks the Obama administration could collapse over this, and he said that the only way this will gain traction, or that could possibly ever happen, is if the media cares and goes with it and investigates. Do you ever see that happening? Because I just don't.
Well, it could well happen, Steve, in a number of different ways. I don't know how that scenario will work out in regards to a collapse, but certainly a lack of confidence. But it certainly points to the fact the American people need to position themselves to remove the leaders we have in Washington. And it's up to the people to do it. And whether it's an impeachment or whatever we have to do, we have got to remove this inept leadership in America, because we're continue to go downhill each and every day in many different areas. We have, if you look at when I went to West Point, I learned duty, honor, and country. And honor is what we've lost, even our government. And these whistleblowers, as we call them, I don't even like to call them that. They're really truth tellers as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
But tomorrow we're going to have a very big news conference here in Washington on the families that lost their sons in SEAL Team 6 that went down, what we call Extortion 17. So that conference will be tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, General, because we're going to have two family members who lost their loved ones, two SEALs on that plane, and you're talking about the crash of the jet that had all those Navy SEALs on it that went down shortly after the raid on Obama. I'm sorry, on Osama bin Laden, correct?
That's correct, 30, and I'm with Billy and Karen Vaughn, who lost their son Aaron. And from that standpoint, the lies, deception, even on that operation where we lost 30 in that helicopter, we've had senior military even call on these families and told the families to stand down. Don't speak up. And we'll probably release that next week of the four-star admiral who told one of the families.
Well, listen, General, I'm up against a hard break. We're going to talk to family members tomorrow. You keep me informed with this. We'll stay on this case right from now till fruition. General Paulie Vallely, we appreciate your time as always, Chairman of Stand Up America.